Out of all the people that sign up to own their own business, very few of them will go on to make lots and lots of money. Even fewer people will go on to make any kind of decent money as an employee. And almost nobody is jumping up and shouting pyramid scheme over employment. I am. As a business owner, your chances of making lots of money and creating freedom are much, much, much greater than as an employee. As an employee, you have no control over how much money you're going to make, and taxes are going to be your biggest liability. As a business owner, taxes is actually something you have control over. As an employee, you're going to work hard most of your life, approximately 40 years, on money that does not make you rich or create any freedom, which is what I mean by rich. And at the end of it all, you're going to retire poorer than you were when you were working your entire life for that money. If that's not a financial racket, a pyramid scheme, I don't know what is. Anything that has you working hard your whole life only to retire poorer than you were when you were working is a racket, pyramid scheme. As a business owner, you could work months or a couple of years and possibly be set for the rest of your life to spend your time how you wish instead of tying your time to money and working for money, so that you can put money in its place where it belongs, far beneath you and its level of importance, so that you've got money pouring in passively whether you work or not, so that you can keep the lights on at home, so that you can fund your dreams, so that you can pay the bills, nourish your family with the best food on earth, and have the free time to spend your time how you wish, focused on creating experiences with loved ones instead of focusing on how the bills are going to get paid. So be a business owner and learn how to do that really well, or be an employee, have taxes as your biggest financial predator in your life, have no control over your money, and have zero freedom because your money is tied to your time, and money is up there at importance above everything else. So that's your decision. This video, I know it's kind of a teaser. If these concepts are new for you, you're either totally, completely arguing with me or your mind is open and you're willing to look at something else to see if it even makes sense for you. The only reason, just one reason, that somebody fails as a business owner is because they fill their head with complete garbage and they subscribe to it. And so they're bound to fail. And the only one reason why anybody makes it really big as a business owner, and there's just a few of these, by the way, it's because they put good things into their head religiously, constantly. They subscribe to those beliefs. Those beliefs affects everything that they do. Therefore, they get a completely different result than people that subscribe to this garbage and this nonsense that fills their head. Don't ever be the person that looks at somebody else and says, I can't achieve what they have. Because then you won't look for answers. It's a poor, lazy mindset. As soon as you start to say things like that, you're not even on the search anymore. And without being on the search, you won't make the discoveries. And without the discoveries, you won't learn what you need to know to be able to do the things you need to do to change your life and improve the quality of your life for yourself and for your family. Your mind is the only piece of real estate in the entire world that you have absolute control over the value of. So good news is that you are in complete control of the beliefs and the seeds and the philosophies and the stuff that you're going to feed your head with and the stuff that you're going to let in and the stuff that you're going to reject and just outright rebuke. You're in control of what information gets planted in your brain and what you throw away. So I recommend that you let the good stuff in and you let the good stuff take root so that it grows a tree that produces, if you don't mind analogies using nature, so that you can grow a tree that has some really sweet fruit on it instead of this tree that comes from this bitter root that just grows bitter fruit. You are in absolute control of this piece of real estate. It's the only thing you have absolute control over. The stuff that goes on outside of your mind, for the most part, you have no control over it whatsoever. But you control the value of this. So all that stuff going on around you, outside of you, that you have no control over, now you're in a place where you can position yourself to use all of those things that you have zero control over to propel you forward, no matter how bad it may seem or how good it is. Good, bad, something in between, it doesn't matter. Now you're developing this piece of real estate, which you can, so that all of it you can use as leverage to constantly reposition yourself based on how things are changing in your environment around you, constantly repositioning yourself so that all of it suddenly becomes just leverage. It's just feedback. It's just leverage. Good, bad, somewhere in between. It doesn't matter. It's just feedback now. Just leverage. I'm going to reposition myself as things change that I have no control over so that I can constantly propel myself forward because I'm developing this, the only real estate in the world you have any control over. That is the defining thing that is so different from person to person. That is why most people will fail as a business owner and very few people will succeed. Very few people, those are the ones that are taking control over this, their brain. The only thing that anyone has complete, absolute control over. Most people aren't taking control over this. Instead, they're focused on these outside circumstances, this environmental variables, and putting their energy in those places and subscribing to these horrible beliefs about why they believe they can't make it, and maybe comparing themselves to other people and all this other stuff. And this belief, well, most people don't make it as a business owner, so I probably won't either. Well, even fewer people make it as an employee, in my opinion, because that's tied to money. So by default, nobody makes it as an employee because there's no freedom in that. And almost nobody is jumping up and saying pyramid scheme or job racket. You work 40 years. You work your whole life hard. You work your whole life only to retire poorer than you were when you were working your whole life. Racket, pyramid scheme. There is no winning there. Even if you make $1 million a year, it's still tied to your time. Even if they pay you $1,000 an hour, that's still tied to your time. And taxes are going to penalize you even more for it because you're making more money at a job and you have no freedom. That's poor. There's no winning in that, in my opinion. So you can make the transition if you wish. And my hope is that you have a message of good and of healing to perpetuate out into the world. And with that message, you decide to be a business owner and you align your values perfectly with your business. And you make your humanity part of your business, and you grow a big business that makes billions of dollars. And I want you to do that, live in freedom, and perpetuate your message. And get out of the job racket, the pyramid scheme. If you got value from this, go to my website, tombirkenmeyer.com. I know a lot of stuff. Just dig around, cherry pick whatever makes sense for you. And if it helps you even just a little bit, I'd love to hear about it. Take care, everyone. I will see you later. Bye.